Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. It's Emoniey Yvonne here with Walk It Like You Talk It, Talk It Like You Walk It. And we have
Kara, also known as Bohemian Air Goddess on YouTube.
And we're here today to talk about self-discovery.
Okay.
What does self-discovery mean to you? And what are some ways that you can discover yourself? For me, self-discovery means living unapologetically without care or thought about the next person, living for you. Self-discovery for me started, let's see, maybe April of last year when it was just me here in Florida, no friends, no family. I was literally by myself, so I began my journey of self-healing, finding out who I am, what I like, what I don't like, who I want to date, who I absolutely cannot date. So yeah, I think being thrown in the wilderness so long, definitely it helped me to explore myself a lot. What about you?
And a lot is similar to her because self-discovery first for me is, like she said, unapologetic, is freedom, meaning that you're standing in your truth, being authentic, you're holding yourself accountable, you're able to hold people accountable, you are conscious and aware of everything in you. When you are conscious and aware, that means that you realize that you have a choice and your reality is all, up to you. My journey started similar to the same way. I am originally from Philadelphia, PA, but I moved to Arizona in 2012, and pretty much the same thing. I moved out there. When I first moved out there, I had my older sister and my mother, so I did have that cushion. But they left in 2014, so really that's when everything happened for me. I want to say just different transitions in life and different circumstances. It not only taught me, it kind of taught me or brought me to a point where I had nothing but myself to rely on or believe in, which brought my faith into play. And then just everything when it came to some of the things that I was doing prior versus to some of the things I started to be interested in, or some of the paths that I started to take after. So it definitely was about 2014 for me that I started my journey when it comes to just the holistic approach to life. When it comes to, I want to say I always been intrigued by African spirituality or ancient Kemet. But yeah, it really started for me in 2014.
Just to piggyback off that, being left in the wilderness is what I called it. I had to realize my wilderness wasn't permanent. Although I do believe in a higher power, but something different spiritually had to change within me. What I was doing wasn't working, so I had to fast a different way. I had to pray a different way. I had to find other outlets, which led to what you guys would call rituals. And it seemed to work out even better for me. I had to change things, and that's when I became more intrigued and started learning more about spirituality. Some things I learned about myself on this self-discovery. I just learned that when you want to make it, you will make it.
Pretty much, you ain't got no choice.
When you want to make it, you will make it. I learned that you always have to stand on your own toes. You always have to have plan A, B, and C, D, E, F. Just having one plan doesn't work. And I was always used to having one plan because my mama was right there. And, mama, a nurse baby, whatever I want, I can get. But being here alone, definitely I learned that spirituality was something that moved me to different levels, helped me manifest things a little bit quicker. I began to get into crystals and moon rituals, astrology, and I was like, this stuff don't work. This is fake. But quickly things manifest. I went from nothing in my apartment to I blinked, and I literally blinked, and it was full. New bed, new bedroom. So I'm like, well, damn, I didn't have a job during this time.
Part, because I was going to say.
I didn't have a job, so I'm just like, and my friend was like, okay, it's a new moon, it's a full moon, write down your affirmations. during your stage, I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. But I was doing it.
Listen.
And every time I turn around, I had a new package at the door, or I had this our friend right here, his name Prince. I had some type of money coming in. I had some type of abundance. I didn't work for a good 7 or 8 months. And I don't know how I survived to this day, but I know everything that I manifested came into play quickly. I know that everything that I thought, my thoughts became my reality. I'm still manifesting to this day. I'm still doing things differently. I also learned that the smaller circle you have, the better.
I want to interject on that because my situation is so crazy, because I feel like a lot of us, especially because I believe in like the divine feminine, divine masculine, things like that. A lot of us don't even realize how connected we are. And I've been getting into astrology since I can remember. I want to say 7. And I remember back in the day, a lot of people said, "Oh, you crazy," or it's a joke. Like even the mood bracelets, I used to look at the colors and I used to understand the colors of what the mood represented. So it was like, everything was always like that for me. I just didn't have an understanding, but definitely I'm a mother, and I went about that same time. I want to say maybe a year, but I literally manifested everything that I wanted without employment. And I even manifested my way down here in Florida. I've been speaking this over myself since 2017, not thinking that in 2020, I would be out here. But it's just the simple fact that without employment, I had a new car. Without employment, I was able to provide for my children. I'm talking about back to school. I'm talking about birthdays, holidays. And this was without employment and no public assistance, because a part of me always had been a little too prideful. I would rather work instead of going ahead and get that, because it's just like, why make that little when I can go out and make it in so many different other ways. And when I seen that I had that power to just literally manifest, like I was manifesting trips, I was manifesting people, I just was manifesting so many different things. And I started to realize, wow, a lot of people did fall to the wayside, but those that aligned with me started to come, into my path. So it's just like this whole journey to self-discovery is really just about learning how powerful you are. And then the thing is with the, I believe in the law of attraction and manifestation, but even with that, it's about getting to the root of it, because without actually grounding yourself and getting to the root of it all and being conscious of everything, and even your words, because your words are power. That you're speaking, spells, curses, ritual. You're speaking all that over yourself. So when you speak to you, make sure you speak in love and light. But it's just that whole self-discovery, or that whole the whole, I guess, experience, getting back to yourself, who you are before everybody or the world told you who you were. It is one of the best feelings, and you definitely realize that some of the people that came, they needed to be there, and then you understand why they needed to go.
I want to interject on that one also. As far as people, oh God, I remember sitting in here with nothing, crying, nobody loves me, Baba, I ain't got no friends. I remember I cried for hours, because I felt like everyone from back home was no longer my friend. I came down here with $100, no job, no nothing. $100, a U-Haul with my car attached to the back. What the fuck? What was wrong with me? I don't know.
That's what you gotta do. That's the star seeds, the ones that just do it.
I just did it, and I felt so bad because so many of my friends were just not talking to me. And I remember this young lady inboxed me, very spiritual woman. The young lady, inboxed me on Facebook. I've always admired this woman. She was like, call me sometimes. I'm like, call me sometimes. I'll call her. We are the best of friends today. She teaches me. She's been teaching me about different crystals. She's been with me on my spiritual journey. And it's like the people that were supposed to be there fell in line. She's still here to this day. I started my small business. She's still here. So a couple months go on, I began to break out my shell and come out the house. I used to sit in this house 24/7. I started to come out. Every woman that I've met here has had 2 businesses or more. has helped me get into jobs, has helped me start my own business. I just launched my second business where I do modeling.
I know that's right.
We get ready to launch my third. I'm so nervous about it. I'm like, I ain't got no clientele, but I'm gonna just do it, whatever.
That's how it starts.
But the people that's supposed to be with you on your path is coming. And now, I just had someone text me today and just say that they could no longer affiliate with something that we had going on business-wise. And I said, okay, fine. But I just believe that the right young lady is about to fall right in my path. It really, who's supposed to be in your journey will come. Down to the men that I met, I'm like, oh, okay. Every guy I met here has had his own business, has known someone in Jacksonville that can get me into certain places, connection, things like that. So definitely on this journey, do not worry about who's not there. Because that was one of my biggest things. I'm like, my mom kept saying, well, F them. And I was like, no, you don't understand.
Right, that part.
I need them.
Because you care so much.
You care, but you don't need them. So once someone leaves your life, man, woman, husband, wife, kids, once they leave your life,
right.
I'm so sorry, guys. Definitely don't chase it.
Yeah, he getting with me. I ain't even doing nothing.
Just snore.
I wanna say something to that just really quick. With the people with the people that come or go into your life or go in your life. One thing I've realized this past year, I lost a lot of people this past year, and the thing is just like Emoniey here, I was very emotional about it. It just was like something that I didn't want to face or recognize. I guess it was just something that you want to put your shades on or your rose-colored glasses, and you don't want to see the reality of the situation. But one thing I've always been is I consider myself a loner. A lot of people, I don't know how I come across to people, but I'm not one of them. I've never had a circle. I've never had not even enough people to make a circle. It's been literally me, and maybe I've always had one or maybe one or two other people, but most of the time it's been one. And I mean, I moved out to Arizona, and I was out there for 8 years, and it took me until the 8th year for me to meet this amazing person, and she's a beautiful woman. She's on her own spiritual journey, but I come out here to Jacksonville, and at first I was just like Emoniey. I was like, I'm not gonna meet anybody, and even still, sometimes I gotta pull myself out of that because I said I'm not gonna meet anybody. How am I gonna come, meet any friends? I'm by myself. I don't talk to this person no more. This person's not around this person. So much of that, and then it's just so crazy because it's like all my life I went without ever being one of them women that could resonate with other women. I always felt like they don't get me. But I met Emoniey here, and we were employed at the same job, and it just was like instantly, whatever it was, it happened, and from the vibe, it's just been what it is. It hasn't been, I want to say, as consistent as I feel it should be, but I feel like when people come for reasons, and I feel like her reason or her purpose is still divine, and it aligns right up on the same path as my own. But not only that, it's just that a lot of people, a lot of women understand me, or I've been resonating with a lot of women, and it's so crazy to me because I'm like, I've never been one to feel like they get me, but it's just about when it's time, or when people are supposed to be there, people are going to come when they're supposed to. And when you learn how to just let go and release whatever you feel is holding you back, especially some of the things that are blocking you, because we really sometimes block ourselves, especially with our mind, when we think, we think so low, like people aren't going to be there, or we won't have a support system.
All right, this is part 2. Okay, go ahead.
So what we were saying is pretty much just that during this journey you realize that the people who need to be here, the people that don't need to be here, they fall to the wayside, meaning that you release them, or you realize how your traumas, or how you're connected to these people through your traumas. And once you begin to release your traumas or heal through your traumas, you realize that a lot of these people fall to the wayside, and it really just makes room for the people that are meant for you and the things that are meant for you to come in, and then you wind up seeing how abundant you really are, honestly.
Family. first it started when my Uncle Leon passed before I moved in November. Then my Uncle George passed. Everybody love Uncle George. That's every family. Everybody love Uncle George. He passed in June. Very traumatizing for me. I'm still healing mentally, and I'm still trying to see things clearly. You know, my mom said to me, a couple of my cousins fell out after my uncle died. My mom said to me, "They're still family. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. You know, and I want you to call and text them every day and tell them how much you love them." And for a minute, I just cried for 2 days. But you know what? I said, fuck if it's still family. I ain't called or text none of them. Definitely, I don't care if it's still family. I don't care. Because if you're not meant to go on this journey with me, you're not meant to go on this journey with me. Don't let that it's still family, it's still your husband. If you gotta cut that motherfucking cord, cut that cord. My cousins are so toxic to the point I was like asking strangers, you know, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Am I crazy? Don't let that it's still family, it's still your sister. If they toxic, let them go. They don't need to be on your journey. And I definitely I feel like what I'm about to do this summer is going to be so huge. And I feel like a lot of my family going to try to come back around, but baby, that door was closed. I had a cousin, we haven't talked in about 6 months, call and ask me for money. Like, family can be so trifling. If leave them folks alone. If they ain't reaching out to you, I did my part. With the first 2 weeks, I would try to reach out to my cousin. Hey, how y'all doing? You know, started a group chat for us. Just wanted to check in. You know, just try to create family trips. After I seen, you know, it's not being replicated, the energy, I'm not being given what I'm putting out, leave it. I'm so much more peaceful now. I got 2 friends here, 3 friends here, and 2 I've been long-term friends with. Excuse me, I call these ladies, I'm on the side of the road. This girl calls out a job and walks out, come and get me, where you at? And let me feed you. I got a friend, hey, girl, I lost my bank card. I'm like, girl, I don't know where my bank card at. What's going on? What bill is due today? Okay, I'm gonna give you I'm finna send you a picture of mine. Pay the bill, whatever it is. My cousin will never do that. Yeah. You know, family, don't hold on to them. Kids, husband, wife, I'm so sorry. All them folks, cut this road. And for the longest, I met a young man here, and I was trying to hold on to him so hard because he was here when I ain't had nothing. I was like, yeah, I got a job now. I'm doing my thing, my apartment together. He showed me his true colors. He showed me he didn't want to be around, so I had to cut that cord. But for the longest, I kept tugging. Until finally, I was like, the cord broke, and I was like, well, bitch, you can't do nothing now. All right, Spirit said, all right, you gonna keep messing with this person? Let me show you. Let me hurt your feelings. Right. And that's what happened. I got my feelings hurt. Another thing I learned on this self journey, listening to your inner voice. Oh my God. Listening to your spirit guide. Sometimes I hear things, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is that? It's really your ancestor talking. Because I now know the difference between when my grandmother is trying to say something versus my uncle George telling me, you know, what's right and what's wrong. I definitely hear their voices now. And I definitely hear it from the higher power, God himself. Like, I know the difference. And people are like, oh, that's just all God. No, it's not all God talking to you. Because sometimes it'd be my uncle and he'd be like.
And they personally let you know that they there with the scent. And you feel it, you get a chill. It's something that they do, okay? It can even be something as small as knocking something off your altar. They going to let you know that it's there, that they there, okay?
And I
or
know
something
it.
goes missing.
I know it. I'm like, okay, Uncle George. Because I was getting ready to react last week. And I could just hear my no poodle loop. Okay. And last week I was talking about a class I wanted to take, and I was just talking about it, and I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm scared. Sorry, guys. I went into work. And literally this box was sitting on the opposite side of the counter. Slid. The man got up and ran out the bar. It slid. It literally slid across the fucking counter. And I called my friend. I said, girl, this box just slid around the corner. I opened it and I told my manager, I said, can I take this? Can I take it home? It's for my class. I need this. The Spirit will lead you to what you need. I need this to start my business. I need to learn these recipes in here. Literally led to me. And I just heard, my girl was saying, run with it, do it. Another thing quickly before we end this video, self-discovery. Listen to the voices inside your head. But also take time to meditate, to sit still, talk slower, walk slower, eat slower, breathe more, laugh more, take in more positivity, and step out your comfort zone.
Right.
Step out your comfort zone. I've gotten so uncomfortable this year.
Just imagine the growth that you experienced.
So much growth.
Right.
And yesterday I did something and stepped into a different career. And when I tell y'all I was so uncomfortable, I was like, oh baby, what have I done? But the abundance, the overflow, the connections, and everything that I ran into literally knocked me on my feet. By the end of the night, I had chills, hair standing up all over my body. I had to come home and sit and think, okay, I'm in this space. This is what happened. What's next, Spirit? How are you going to lead me to what I need? Definitely listen to yourself. Learn your body inside and out. Learn your hair. Learn your pattern. Learn how you like to wake up, how you like to eat. Learn everything from every detail about you on this journey of self-discovery.
Definitely, especially with when she say listen to your spirit guides. A lot of us have been suppressing that. A lot of those voices in our head, because a lot of us say that it is either God or it's you tripping, it's your subconscious speaking to you. Well, if you are subconsciously thinking, you already have a subconscious, so you already have something that's like your higher self and your lower self. Your higher self, your conscious, your subconscious is unconscious, and that's the part of that's kind of like your shadow, the part of yourself where your guides do come in and tell you when to speak or when you should not speak or when you could, save yourself from missing an opportunity. So one thing I definitely have learned over this past year is just that it's okay to just be present. I've always tried to rush everything and I've always planned, but life this year has said, listen, you're going to sit down and you're going to learn. Why? Because you got a purpose, and in order for you to get to where you need to be, I need to go ahead and remove everything, and we're going to start at the basics. So it's like I've been doing a lot of shadow work. I would say last year I focused a lot more on my inner child, but this year for sure has been complete shadow work, and I have learned so much about myself. I can definitely say that I'm growing and learning how to walk in my truth and be my authentic self and be unapologetic about it. Whether it does offend someone, I don't want you to take it personal. It's all love. But yeah, it's definitely like a overwhelming, abundant experience. But I think it is one that everyone should try to tap into, because you'll definitely reap the benefits or the rewards. And then also some great books to check out for any woman who's doing any you're trying to do any cleanses, meaning that you're trying to do steams when it comes to your wombniverse. A good book is The Sacred Woman. It's by Queen Afua, I believe, and it just talks about our spirituality way back from before ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, the Nile Valley. It talks about the 42 laws of Ma'at. It just gives you a lot of good information. It speaks on the divinity and the times we should wake and go down and pray and meditate and just reflect on the day. So if you haven't checked that book out, you should. And then also another good book is The Secret. That was another book that I started to read in the beginning of my journey, just to bring me back or to center me and humble me, actually. But that's pretty much, my take on it. Self-discovery, it never ends, but you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be in your truth, meaning that being in your truth means taking accountability for when you're right or wrong, and allow people to be who they are without trying to control the things around you, and just accept what is.
I agree with everything she said. There will be more videos and more topics. You guys look for us every week. We're both going to post this on both our channels. We thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. If you want us to hit a topic, definitely hit it in either one of our comments or
And what's
inbox.
your channel again?
It is Emoniey.Romilus. Yes, Yvonne, Yvonne.Romilus, ROMILUS.
And she gonna link it. And mine is Bohemian Air Goddess. I do weekly tarot and different pick a card readings and such.
So we'll be definitely doing that. Thank you guys.
Peace.
Peace. Princess, bye. Say bye-bye.